Hello guys, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report with Alpari. What's happening? Well, we are waiting for non-farm payrolls, which will be released in half an hour. What we do expect, let me show you the calendar. What we do expect here is 185,000 jobs. There are various expectations in different banks. For example, Barclays, 225. So they expect a huge number. Bank of America, 170. Goldman Sachs, 200. Societe Generale, 165, UBS 210, Wells Fargo 178. Previously, hopefully you remember the previous number that we got was 98,000, which was they explained that there's a huge influence of the weather. All right, fair enough. In February we got 235, so a large reading, and yes, actually we are waiting for this report. There's not much that is happening right now. We do have a midterm buy signal on euro dollar, for example. But I think that the biggest story is happening right now on the commodities and especially on oil and on gold. Why is that? Because we at the end of the Asian session we had a flash crash. Well, some experts call it a flash crash on oil, where oil declined sharply, made new yearly lows, but that was recovered after 10 minutes. But I will show you that in a second. First, let's finish with this calendar, and as it is Friday, let me show you what is going to be important next week that we will be able to prepare for the forthcoming week. As for today, non-farm payrolls, 27 minutes to that. Also a pack of data from Canada, so definitely American dollar to Canadian dollar will be influenced today in 27 minutes. Also, we do have a speech from Janet Yellen and important data for the oil traders. So today, pretty busy. Next week, what should we expect next week? So we do have presidential election on Sunday, so watch for gaps on euro. Remember, if I were you, I wouldn't leave positions with euro opened over the weekend. Probably we're gonna start with a gap. We just don't know which way. Well, traders, it seems like traders know, right? Because traders are buying euro because they do believe in those polls that are showing that Macron has 60%, 60 something, and Le Pen has 30 something percent. But hopefully you do remember what happened during Brexit, what happened during US elections. In both cases, traders got that wrong. So they were anticipating something else that actually happened. This time it may be similar. So I wouldn't be so optimistic like traders are right now. I would be more cautious. But okay, I am more cautious. I'm not opening a position in favor of euro for the weekend because I actually do not totally believe that Macron will win this election. Well, I was sure that there will be Brexit. I was sure that Trump will win. I was the opposite of that, of the polls. and as it seems, I was right. Actually, the whole team of Alpari Research and Analysis were predicting that. And actually, we had a webinar about Brexit. We had a webinar about elections in US. And I was telling about that on those webinars. It's recorded, so you can check it online. No problem with that. But I'm not so sure about these French elections. We will see. Definitely not the environment to trade now. I like low risk. Definitely, I won't enter the market before French elections. On Tuesday, not much is going on. On Wednesday, we'll have a speech from Mario Draghi, but apart from that, nothing. On Thursday, we'll have an interest rate decision in New Zealand. We'll have interest rate decision in Great Britain and a pack of data from Great Britain. So important day for pound on Thursday. And next Friday, GDP from Germany, industrial production from Eurozone, retail sales from United States, CPI from United States. So it will be busy, but in the second half of the week. So most probably on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will digest the outcome of French elections, and after that we will focus on the current calendar, Thursday, Friday. Right, now let's look on the charts. First, we will start with the DAX. DAX is showing an enormous strength because, well, we had a channel up, right? Channel up formation. And normally price bounce from the resistance to the support, resistance to the support, and is making higher highs and higher lows. But as you can see, we broke even the upper line of the channel up formation, which is characteristic for very strong trends. I don't want to say bubbles, but I will do say that, yes, it's a bubble in my opinion. We are making new highs, the price advancing higher, there are no sell signals whatsoever here, not even small hints that the price will reverse. It seems like everything is awesome here, yes, traders, they still think that stocks are cheap. Okay, fair enough for them. I'm not the one that is going to join this situation here. Maybe I'm missing huge revenues, huge profits, but such a run here, such a race, because it's a race, is not a good environment for me for trading. I'm alright with my profits that I'm making on the forex market. I don't need to enter the market, which in my opinion is in the bubble stage. S&P 500. Excuse me. Show all. S&P 500. What is having? As they are protecting the lower line of this horizontal correction, and most probably they will break the upper line and set new long-term highs. It's a probable scenario, right? We had an upswing, we had a wedge formation with these blue lines. We're breaking the upper line of the wedge. We are having a sideways trend here below a horizontal resistance. It's a sign for a possible further upswing. It's how it is. And oil, look at that. This is our oil. Maybe in 15 minutes I will show you this flash crash. Maybe even on the smaller time frames you will be able to see that it was just a matter of seconds, actually, to be honest with you. 10 minutes, that's a 5-minute chart, right? So 15 minutes, and it's been retraced. And it looks like a flash crash during times of lower volatility. but how the situation looks in the longer term, because that's what counts. In the longer term, what we do have here is a hammer candlestick so far. Hammer is bouncing from a important support here created by those lows. If they will manage to close the day like that, that will be quite optimistic. Maybe that won't be a buy signal, but that will be an invitation for taking profits, obviously from the short side of the market. So sellers who are selling here will try to take profits here, close their short positions, and you close the short position with opening long position, right? With hitting the buy button, which may cause a bullish correction here. So the closest support is here, stays here. The closest resistance is here. If they will manage to close the day like that, the next potential target will be 47.5, this resistance here. Right, that's how I see it, that if we will manage to create a hammer here, the price should go $2 higher. Right, now we can move to the currencies. 18 minutes to non-farm payrolls. We try to watch that live. Euro dollar also showed a huge strength like DAX, where we also had a channel up formation. Well, on this time frame, because on a daily time frame it's more like a wedge of and wedge should result with a downswing, but as you can see, this upswing is very strong. In the midterm, we do have a channel up formation, and they didn't close this gap after the election. They created a pennant. Instead of breaking the lower line of the pennant and closing the gap, they broke the upper line of the pennant and the upper line of the channel up formation. That's a huge strength, right? That's very positive from the technical point of view. I do not believe in that because it's mostly driven by fundamentals about French elections, which I'm not sure about. And obviously, if they are expecting the Macron to win, as discounted. So if he will win, we may see take profit action. So buy the rumors, sell the facts. Once it's gonna be a fact, they're gonna sell euro. And if Le Pen gonna win, that will definitely be a disaster for euro. If Le Pen will win, we will see a huge reversal here. So either way, we can see a correction or a major downswing here on euro dollar. British pound to American dollar. What we're having here is after this breakout of this horizontal resistance, which I deleted because it's white, and what counts here is a short-term situation right now. We do have an uptrend, price is making higher highs and higher lows. We made a correction equality pattern almost. We just missed like 5 pips or something. The price created a flag, broke the upper line of the flag, which triggers a buy signal. Now we got recently we are receiving the information that conservatives are gaining support in UK, which is positive for pound, and the pound is advancing higher. That's what we are telling for some time. That's what's happening, and most probably next week we will see new highs on this instrument, new monthly highs, new yearly highs actually. Gold. Oil had a support, and gold has a support. Very important support, and actually on gold, it's the last support they can imagine. What is this support? It's created from the correction equality pattern. Here, those corrections are the same, and by 38.2 Fibonacci level, which is always the place that we should look at. We should always consider 38.2 as an important one. We had two supports before, two more supports before. We had the uptrend line, this black one, and the lower line of the flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern. Trend is positive still, was positive once the price was above the trend line. So that was optimistic and we could expect an upswing here. But it's not, it didn't happen. We broke the uptrend line and that's the last place where they can defend. Right? If not, the next support, I don't think they will stop on 50%. I think if they will break here, they will go for this support here on $1,200, slightly above $1,200. So that will be $30 lower, so significant downswing, right? So if they want to keep the bullish dream alive, what they should do, what they have to do is to defend 38.2 Fibonacci level. If not, if they will fail, we can see there is a potential to see $30, I'm sorry, not pips, $30 a downswing on gold. So again, situation is bad, but we are now defending a very important midterm support. We will see how this defense will go. New Zealand dollar to American dollar. Surprisingly, they don't want to fall sharply after they bounce from those resistances. They try to come back, but they bounce from those. They use the recent supports as resistances. The price is not. They made new midterm lows, new long-term lows. Actually, we are on the lowest level since the last year. Actually, since the May. Since the June 2016, but as you can see, this candle, the spin bar does not look like they have a willingness to go even lower, right? They made new lows, fair enough, okay, it's bearish, it's definitely bearish, but with this situation, so with a bounce from those resistances, I would prefer to see the price going deeper and more significantly. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. So the support is gone again. Support is gone again. The situation is not bullish anymore. Buy signal is denied. And now we do have a neutral sentiment. It's not yet negative because as long as we stay above the green area, the sentiment is not negative. It's neutral. So here I won't tell you a story here because there is no story. There is no buy signal here anymore. That's the story. Euro to British pound, no story as well. We are above the midterm uptrend line, below the midterm horizontal resistance, so neutral sentiment as well. This one is not relevant. Euro to Japanese yen, buy signal is at finest. We broke horizontal resistance, dynamic resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 5 bullish days in a row, so it's normal that we do have a correction here. But again, Euro to Japanese yen will be strongly influenced by the French elections over the weekend, so be careful when entering on this instrument. American dollar to Polish zloty. If you're wondering why we stopped here, wonder no more. 4,500 pips downswing. Lows created by the situation on the market from US elections. So it's a good place for a reversal. So far, it's not going according to the bullish plan. I don't even know if they have plan, right? They have a nice place for a potential support. They could go higher, but they failed to develop this movement better, right? So far it looks like Polish zloty can be even stronger if they don't want to go up, using this opportunity here, a breakout of this line. That could be a double bottom. If they failed here, that can be a sell signal and the price can go even deeper to this support, 380. from 384. That's deep. That's deep. Right? This support looks potentially important. Euro to Australian dollar. So far they are creating a shooting star. Shooting star should be an invitation for a correction. Which, as we said, can happen because when Macron will win, that we should see a take profit action. When Le Pen will win, we should see a Armageddon on euro. In both cases, there is a bigger probability, in my opinion, that euro will be weaker, at least at the beginning of the next week. American dollar to Japanese yen. Actually, yesterday we were above this upper line of the flag, but at the end of the day they moved lower, and now we're trying to defend this horizontal support here, and we're trying to come back above this line. So it's not like that the buy signal is gone entirely. No, it's still on the table. It's still on the table. This reversal does not look very strong. It's alright. It's maybe not a typical reversal, but for sure it's not dangerous. This situation is promising. This situation is still bullish. I wouldn't say that we should see a deeper comeback here, at least as long as we stay above this horizontal support. Silver, this is a weekly chart. We do not go on a weekly chart too often on silver, but this time it is worth it because look where we are here now. We are on the long-term uptrend line. So as we do have a last chance for buyers on gold, but still, if we would go on gold on weekly chart, as you can see to the similar line on gold, we still have a lot of space. We still have like $50 to that. And on silver, we are on this line right now. So silver is in a bit worse condition right now than gold. But again, we are on important supports on both gold and silver. Is that a good occasion to go long here? Well, maybe, especially after after 3 bearish weeks in a row. It happens quite often that we do have corrections after such downswings, right? It happens that after 3 weeks in a row we do have a correction. So we will see. Potentially place is nice. Wait a second. That's not the candle from today, is it? It is. It does not look very promising, right? This bounce here. It could be better. The price could create an engulfing here, but they are not so far. But look at this drop. That's brutal. American dollar to Swiss franc. I'm waiting here and waiting and waiting, and the situation does not want to develop. Probably they will aim a long-term uptrend line, and here we will see if the demand will show up or not. Okay, next instrument is Australian dollar to American dollar. What we do have here is a breakout of this horizontal support here. And we are aiming for the long-term uptrend line, where there is a possibility that we will see a bounce, so that we will see a bullish bounce here. Euro to New Zealand dollar is creating a nice opportunity to enter with a long position. Why is that? We broke the trend line, we broke the horizontal resistance, and now we can use the broken resistance as a closest support, which often happens. Maybe we'll make a correction equality pattern because it's a very similar situation to this one seen on cable. As you can see here, here, very similar, right? Upswing, here we had a wedge, upswing, small correction, upswing, small correction. Upswing, flag, upswing, small correction, and maybe small correction on a horizontal support. The correlation is very strong here. It looks almost the same. And British pound to Canadian dollar, new lows. Obviously, Canadian dollar was influenced by the lower price of the oil, was very badly influenced by the lower price of the oil. So we add a few more pips to that 1,100 pips upswing. The closest resistance now is not far away. It's 220 pips from now. Right, 2.5 minutes to non-farm payrolls. So let me show you, for example, euro dollar, and maybe we'll see British pound to Canadian dollar, and also maybe we will see American dollar to Canadian dollar. That wouldn't be a bad idea because we should get a nice volatility on American dollar to Canadian dollar, because that's where the magic gonna happen. Okay. So we are waiting for the non-farm payrolls, less than 2 minutes on hourly chart here. So data from the job market from United States and from Canada. On the left we have euro dollar on H4 chart. So maybe let me show you hourly chart. In the middle, British pound to Canadian dollar, hourly chart, and American dollar on the to Canadian dollar. On the chart on the right, hourly chart as well. And to the data, we do have 1 hour, 1 minute time. Sorry. If you're just starting with the forex market. Now we are waiting for non-farm payrolls, which are showing the change of the employment in United States, which is considered as one of the most important data for traders. And based on this data, Fed is, well, traders are trying to estimate if we'll have an interest rate rise or not. It is considered as the most important data to show is if the economy is developing or contracting, for example. And it's a huge fest for the traders every first Friday of the month. And 5 seconds. You see that the movements are a bit choppy. It's always like that. And we have a release. Boom. American dollar is much stronger. Canadian dollar is stronger as well, first initial reaction. So most probably, you can see those choppy movements here. Let me check what was the data. When you don't have an access to the Bloomberg, for example, it's always good to use Twitter. Because on Twitter, the information is on the first place. Okay, and what do we have here? I can see unemployment rate, which dropped to 4.4. And it was expected that it will be 4.6. But look at the reaction. First, we saw a huge drop. Well, huge drop. We saw a drop here, and then euro is going higher. I'm always telling that it's not the best time to be on the market when we do have non-farm payrolls. Because movements are choppy. For the 5 seconds we can go up, for the next 5 seconds we can go down. In Canada, unemployment change 3.2 and 20,000 was expected, but as you can see, Canadian dollar, well, American dollar is losing. Canadian dollar is losing a bit too, as you can see here. Non-farm payrolls, 190,000 was expected, and the final number was 210. So better non-farm payrolls, but instead of American dollar being stronger, American dollar is weaker. Again, that is why I'm always telling traders to avoid trading during non-farm payrolls. Because in theory, what should happen is when you have a stronger payrolls, American dollar should be stronger. That was the first reaction caused by algorithms, by expert advisors, by robots, right? They read the number and they trade. But as you can see now, the American dollar is getting weaker. So that's the situation that should be helpful for commodities. Here on American dollar to Polish zloty, it helped Polish zloty, so they are breaking this support. But let's check commodities. What do we have on gold? No solution here. No solution here. American dollar to Japanese yen. No solution whatsoever. American dollar is losing mostly on the currency market. On cable, maybe we will see new highs in a few seconds. To new highs, we are missing 14 pips. So in most of the instruments, the movement are with the trend, right? Okay guys, thanks very much for watching daily analytical report. Remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. Thanks very much for watching. Follow us on our Twitter account and our website alpari.news for more interesting trading setups, informations, our views on the market, which are usually right. And now we'll have a short break, and after that webinar about candlestick patterns and price patterns. Much and goodbye.